Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 233 of the Massenomics podcast. We are the lifting podcast about nothing. My name's Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
What do you think? The lifting podcast about nothing, and what? Do you have any?
And special guests.
Special guests. We do have a special guest this week. We're quite on the special guest hot streak. I think this is 233, like I said. So we're getting really close to 4.5 years. And I think next episode would be 4.5.
Is it really?
4.5 mark, yeah.
Oh, we might have to hire a mathematician to confirm
Although I
that.
have done some, if you listen back to episodes like somewhere in the hundreds or so where I had some faulty math there where I was thinking that stuff a few times. Or that might have even been in like the 50s.
That could have been.
Where I was thinking like 50, when it was a year.
Half of 100, which is a year.
Yeah, 100 weeks in a year, of course. No, we're almost at 4.5 though. And after 4.5, then it comes 5. And yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah.
I'm just saying we have to do something big for when we do hit that 5-year one.
We do. I wanted to change what this podcast is. This is the
like
podcast
the whole
about
thing?
this is the podcast about nothing and matching outfits.
Perfectly matching outfits almost.
Exactly.
I have those socks too. I am not wearing those socks. I am wearing blue dress socks.
Tanner walked into my house tonight and goes, "Oh, we're in the same clothes, huh?" We both have the Strongman 8-bit shirt on and the Lift Shorts 2.0.
Great time to mention that we did just get a full restock of the Lift Shorts 2.0.
Yeah. So by the time you're listening to this, do not wait because those have been out of stock for a while.
Well, we better talk about our
actually,
sponsors here first, and then I wonder, we do kind of have a small release that would be out by the time, so maybe we should go over that too. Yeah. But first, how we really pay the bills and keep all these lights on. And for those of you that don't know, there is actually like special studio lights that we look at here.
Yeah.
You might not know that, but they're blinding. Today's show is brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large has set a new standard for customer service within the strength world. They have live website chat support and speedy email responses. Lifting Large is home of the Ground Lock Deadlift Slipper, and they are always in stock and ready to ship. Massenomics listeners can save 20% on all Lifting Large branded products by using discount code MASS20 at checkout. MASS20, MASS20. Today's episode is also brought to you by Spud Inc. The goal of Spud Inc. straps is to make products that support sports performance and help everyone achieve their training goals. They make products that last forever, won't bust your budget, and most importantly, leave no doubt about success when everything is on the line. Make sure to check them out online at spud-inc-straps.com. Just talked to them today. So they said things are going well at Spud Inc. Straps. So glad to hear it.
Yep, like to hear that.
This episode is also brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. They're your one-stop shop for all things fitness and online coaching. Whether your goals are training-related, nutrition and body composition-related, or both, Hybrid has a program for you. With dedicated and experienced coaches in each strength and fitness discipline, you can rest assured that you're in the best hands possible. Use code MASS, M-A-S-S, that one's in all caps. That'll save you 5% off any training or nutrition membership for the entire life of your membership, and that's at hybridperformancemethod.com. Make sure to use that code and get 5% off. And this episode is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. In 1980, Buddy Cap set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling, and it was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, world, and Massenomics powerlifting records. You see that how it goes, like
it's
a step of
steps
importance.
of a pyramid.
Yeah. And at the top of the pyramid is Massenomics records. They have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. Check them out at texaspowerbars.com.
And I mean, if you think about it, there literally are hundreds, maybe even thousands of world records in powerlifting.
But how many Massenomics records
exactly.
are there?
Once you consider the number of weight classes, the number of federations, all of that stuff, there probably are thousands of world records.
And at Massenomics Gym, we have a record board that's got like 30 people on it.
It is. You could fit the whole thing in one picture and look at it. So statistically, you're in much rarer territory being on that Massenomics record.
I never thought of it like that. That's makes me feel way better about myself than I used to. And we're all on there. We actually did. We got a little lifting in today. We did a little benching. It's like the good old days.
The noon crew is really taking care of business.
We kind of We used to be the evening crew.
Yep.
And in our old age, we've kind of developed into the noon
Yeah,
crew.
family, jobs. You just got to sneak away during the day and take care of it. I actually don't mind it though. It's
no, I like lifting. I've been doing it for quite a while.
The thing, pre children, but the thing about at night is you could just be there as long as you want.
Right.
Is this going to go 3 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
Right.
Whereas like at lunchtime, you got to be focused, but I don't mind that either because it keeps you focused,
Yeah, it does. I most of the time lift at noon. Sometimes I can't, depending on my work schedule. Sometimes I can't, and sometimes I'll lift at the evening. And before, I loved lifting at the evening and would have hated having to lift at noon. And now when I have to lift in the evening, I'm kind of like, you just get used to whenever you normally go, and it's just out of your routine.
And I don't get how people with kids, like, how do you go to work, especially like younger kids, right? Like go to work, come home, like, do you see your kid for like 2 seconds, go to the gym and be like, all right, I'll see him tomorrow. Yeah. Like, cause I guess my kid goes to sleep around like 7:30, between 7:30 and 8.
Some people do that, and they wait until
and if you did that later, and if you did that, but I do not want to be getting home from the gym at like 10 o'clock at night.
Well, I get a little excited for the gym and stuff, and if I'm waiting to get that.
Well, and you need like some time to cool down after the gym too. Like I can't go to the gym, come home, shower, and go right to bed.
And then I still have to get up at 6 the next morning. Yeah. So it's like, I'm really making that window of sleep really small there.
Yeah. The noon has been a savior for me.
But if I have to do it like once a week, not such a big deal. Like terrible, with the family and I can go a day without getting a lot of good family time in, and it also doesn't upset my wife too much if it happens once. But like, that's not a good that's not a
if it's 3 or 4 nights a week.
Option,
3 or 4 nights a week. It's just living in my own world over here.
Yeah. But when you don't have kids and you're single,
and you can go whatever time. I still even then. I always thought the perfect time to go would be at noon. It's just it works better because after 5 o'clock ish is when everyone's done with work. It's when everyone's there. Like, it wasn't crazy to think. Back in the day, we used to have like 15 people down there just all going at it. It was fun.
And there still is an evening crew there, but it's just it's not us because there's other people. We have more younger members than like when we would have first started the gym. The gym will be 5 years old in November.
That's pretty crazy right there.
Yeah, we have people there that weren't even lifting when
weren't even born then.
We do have some people that are like senior, that would have been like 14. But, so what about the new? We were talking about the restock of the Lift Shorts 2.0. Those are fully restocked, and the people that were waiting had been notified, and those are selling quickly. So hop on the Lift Shorts 2.0. The original Lift Shorts, I think, the week that this podcast is coming out, they're coming in that same week. So as you're hearing this, if they're not in yet, they'll be in really soon. And
it's some type of global conspiracy.
Yeah,
so the world doesn't want us to put those out.
I am a little, if you want those, I would get on them because there is a backlog of people that have signed up for those, and there's still a hard time. We're having a hard time getting those still.
So it won't be a full restock just because they just don't exist.
Right.
But
There's
I mean, it's like mining for gold and diamonds. It's incredibly labor intensive. There's a reason there's that premium.
That's why we charge what we charge.
We don't just put a logo on it and charge more. There's a lot to it.
Exactly. So that's the restock stuff. Nothing that's new particularly there with the shorts. But then what else?
This is kind of. Well, yeah, these are this is technically new right here.
Yeah, this is new.
Yeah, so
for a few reasons.
I'm holding here. This is a new Mastonomics Og Red Tee, and what's new about it? Well, this is on a new red tee. This is on the same tee as we've been moving to for almost all of our shirts lately.
Like all the 8-bit shirts, all the white shirts we've done.
Yeah, so it's not that pure like varsity red as our others. It has a very slight heather to it. But we have updated the type underneath to be a little bit more of our
the
Massenomics stencil,
yep.
And then we've added that sweet Massenomics plate to the upper back.
Yep.
So this is looking really good. And what do we got these in? Red. So
we have
black,
red with white, black with white, and the black on black.
That's
the black on black, although you can barely see what it even is if you're from a distance, is a pretty popular one. A lot of people like
it. Always looks good. It always looks good.
Yeah. If you're more than 10 feet away, nobody can tell what you're wearing if the light isn't quite right.
You like that understated look? That's how
a little more
you can subdued. You can wear that to places like weddings, church. It's just very understated, very professional looking. Business offices, like when you're looking for a raise with your boss. A
Like,
lot of respect goes there.
Black shirt today. Well done.
Oh, is that black ink on that black shirt?
And maybe we should save those for last because we
Okay.
also do have one other thing. We don't have it here in front of us, but
yeah.
our new flags.
Yes.
That are the 8-bit flags. We've got 2 8-bit flags. We have them in the strongman and the powerlifting, and it is on the flag material. Same material as our Don't Curl and Me flag or as our navy blue lift flag.
Yeah, I forget what the exact dimensions are, but
This is-
kind of take our normal flags and turn them vertical.
Yeah, and a little wider.
yeah.
It's 50 inches tall and 40 inches wide.
Like you didn't.
It's big.
We ordered them, and in my head, like I put it together, I got the measurements, and we
Yeah.
sent it off. And you even sent me a picture of one on a wall. I'm like, yeah, that's big. But then I saw it in the gym, like, damn, that is pretty big.
Yeah.
Like your head doesn't comprehend how big and bold those are until you actually see them.
It's really big. It's got grommets in all 4 corners, and we're selling that for the same price as our flag, which it should be $29.99. And for $29.99, I think it's a really good deal for the size of the flag you're getting.
And they do. I don't say this about many things, but when those are on the wall,
don't say it.
they really pop.
Oh, yes. I thought you were going to go there.
They do though.
They
Don't
do pop.
Yeah.
Well, I hung both of them up like at one on each side of a doorway, and they look really cool.
They do.
We bought a pretty good inventory of both of those, but I'm pretty confident those are going to sell pretty well.
They've
Once the
been
people,
both very popular designs
Yeah.
for us. So
Yeah.
they will move for sure.
they do look really cool too. I mean, I like to break up everything we sell, but those were one of those things.
Yeah, it's
when
kind
we got
of it's kind of a different product for
Yeah,
us.
right,
We
right.
don't have a ton of our t-shirt designs on flags. So.
right. It's cool.
Yeah.
it's cool.
And then, are we ready for this product
Yes.
now? Okay, so
Probably
now this
the piece
is
de resistance.
You know, I don't want to say once a generation, but I might have to say once a generation a product comes along that people just don't know that they need. And in this case, I'm holding up a pair of limited edition royal blue lift shorts.
Yep.
That's right, royal blue lift shorts, limited edition. We're limiting this to 100 pairs.
Yep.
And just to commemorate this event and occasion, each pair will ship with a numbered certificate of authenticity.
That's
So
right.
you can really flex on people that you are the owner of a limited edition pair of lift shorts.
And that's not a joke. Each one will ship with.
We have the certificates.
Yeah.
They're getting numbered as we speak.
Yep.
You know, we have our interns on it. They're trying to figure out how to count 1 to 100.
Yep.
And you will get a certificate of authenticity with each one of these pairs of shorts, so you can prove to the world that you are part of a very elite club.
And so those are on our exact same Champion mesh shorts, only with the white print, but they are just the royal blue color. And these ones really, these are going to be the 100 that we print. So if you want, and the way sizing works out when we have to get 6 different sizes, there's not that many of each size.
Yeah, there's really not.
So I really mean this when I say it. If you want those, they are the special limited edition. You have to order those right away because they are going to be sold out in some sizes really quickly. And I'm positive of that.
People probably don't understand how this works. Certificates of authenticity aren't something you can just print off willy-nilly. Like you got to get clearances from the government.
Well, and is it authentic if you just do it?
Exactly. You got to get.
It's just a certificate.
Yeah,
then, if
there's
it's
all
not-
types of hoops we got to jump through, contracts we got to sign for a certificate of authenticity. So this is the real deal here.
Yeah. Those will be cool.
It'll be really cool.
I honestly think that those are going to sell fast too. So,
I think so.
So you will be screwed if you don't jump on those right away. The OG shirts, that's something we keep around.
I mean, you
for-
might not even want to wear these. You might just want to put them in your sports memorabilia collection next to your Mike Tyson punching glove or something else.
Because they are limited edition and come with that certificate of authenticity, they are $1 more expensive than the black.
Well, naturally.
than the black,
which
lift
means
shorts.
no one can afford
Oh,
them.
right. No one could afford it to get.
They
to
are
begin
even
with,
they're $1 farther out of reach.
Yeah, and the certificate even has some verbiage in there about how.
Do you know, is this pair number 1, 2, 3 that I'm holding right
TBD.
here? Okay. Okay. We haven't married it up with its certificate yet.
No.
Wow. Well, whoever gets a medium pair could be the pair that appeared on the Massenomics podcast, which is like ultra rare.
That's true. Whoever orders, I'll make a deal. Whoever orders the first pair of mediums, you are getting the as seen on the Massenomics podcast pair.
I can almost guarantee the person that orders them won't know that that's what they're getting, but we might have to write it on the certificate.
Right.
To
And
really
I should just say this is number one. Like this pair will be number one, and I'll keep them set
There we
aside.
go. Then we know.
So even if you don't wear medium, you might want to just be the first one to buy that medium.
We'll just completely sell out of mediums right away.
He'd be like, oh, those were gone a while ago, but as long as people are buying it, we'll keep going.
Yeah. All right. Now that we got our selling. Oh, okay. We got our selling out of the way, Tanner.
Yeah.
For now, we'll hit back on that later. But
Okay, good.
all that talking got me very thirsty here. So
dry. Pavlov's dog, classical conditioning.
absolutely.
So every time we start to podcast,
Your mouth just starts
I
watering.
get extremely
You start driving
thirsty.
over to my
Yeah.
house, and you're
Yeah,
like, when
I'm
was the
like-
last time I drank something?
I'm like, why do I just feel like I need bubbles in my mouth right now?
okay, no looking. We're going on a little trip to Flavor Town here,
All right.
Tanner.
Who was the guy for Pavlov's dog and classical conditioning? That would be
The guy.
well, like who is the? I don't know if scientist is. Oh, Pavlov.
Pavlov.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know you were tricking me there.
No. I just
Yeah.
was confusing myself. Yeah, I was saying
Is it
it.
Pavlov is
Yeah.
not the name of a dog.
So am I guessing this here? Is this a guesser?
This is a guesser.
Well, there's a smell there for sure, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm curious what you're going to say here. That look seems like you're processing actual flavor right now.
Yeah. I just want to clear this up first. Is there cucumber in this at all? Or
No cucumber.
Okay.
This is
Let me
without
try that again.
cucumber.
I don't know what make it is. It's sparkling water for sure.
There's no tab to give it away.
No,
for
I
you.
was just checking features of the can. It feels like it could be a LaCroix, but I'm not positive. It smelled too much. Let me tell you what I should say what I'm thinking.
Yep, you should.
It had too much of a smell and now almost too much of a flavor. I could be wrong, but too much of a smell and a flavor to be a LaCroix.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if enough to be a bubbly, maybe enough to be a bubbly, but I'm not sure. But flavor wise, I'm going to say like grape, which I'm not sure that it's grape, but that's what I feel like I'm getting.
I can
like grape soda.
I'm not going to say
almost
if you're
is
right or wrong, but
okay.
I don't think that that's a bad guess.
But grape is like probably the part of the appeal of a sparkling water is for it to be fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Grape might be the least fancy flavor of.
See, I get what you're saying, and it's kind of funny because it's like
grape as
also
in, like,
turns into
no,
wine.
right,
though, so it's
right.
like-
Yeah, and I guess there's two different ways to present grape. One
Yeah.
is the purple
Yep.
Kool-Aid grape,
Yep.
and the other is like grapes.
yes,
I think it depends on if there's an S at the end.
that could be it too. It's the S is what makes it fancy.
Yeah, like just grape is just like I picture straight up purple.
Yeah.
Like really purple.
sugar, water,
Yeah,
purple.
but grapes. When you say grapes, and then you have the vineyard green grapes pictured.
There's a whole different level of
But
class.
I do remember one time thinking something was grape, and then it was blackberry.
Oh,
But
which
I
is
don't.
basically like mini grapes.
But I'm gonna say grape.
Okay,
I don't know. But
You ready
I
for this?
Yeah.
It is. There's actually a lot going on here, Tanner.
Oh, what brand is this?
Aha is the brand.
Ah,
Blueberry
Okay.
pomegranate. Now, I would never, ever guess anything pomegranate flavored in my life.
I don't know what that tastes.
I don't.
Does
I don't.
anyone know what the? Isn't
I don't think anyone's ever ate a pomegranate before. They've never been.
they just put it in?
People don't even know if they're edible
Yeah.
or not. But yeah, blueberry. So now, do you sense the blueberry in there?
Yes, I actually, to be perfectly honest, I sense it a lot now
Yeah.
that you say that.
And
that
I-
last hint, it tasted very
And there's
much like a
that
blueberry.
pomegranate kick in there too,
No,
right?
yeah. Well, I suppose that's what was throwing me off
The
of
unknown
yeah.
flavor of the rest.
and it does have a blueberry smell. Yeah.
makes you say, aha.
Aha. But I think I was on the right track as far as the flavoring. I could tell it was more
so.
than a LaCroix, but
But not a
not
buble.
a buble. So it's somewhere in
that-
between.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good round. That's tasty though. I think that's good.
Not too shabby, is it?
So the real question.
It's how many JD? Oh,
Yeah.
someone had a very good JD Power and Associates meme.
Yeah. Yes. It was actually, well, I think middle
It was
class
medical
fancy.
and then someone
Yeah.
crossed it out and
Yeah.
put in Massenomics.
Right.
And it
Well, 'cause
was
we got
literally,
tagged in, like-
literally every
Yeah.
sparkling water.
Instead of literally every car, it was literally every sparkling
Yeah.
water. And instead of JD Power, it was Massenomics and giving it. So And it should have even said maybe 3.5.
Should have.
Because I'm leaning towards a 3.5.
That's what I was leaning towards on this one. Yeah.
I'm not even just joking. I think it's a 3.5.
It's a pretty good 3.5.
Yeah,
I would say.
this is definitely
a strong 3.5.
Yeah. It is good. That was a good one.
Yeah. You know, there's this reviewer on YouTube. His name's Anthony Fantano. He reviews music. And he has a pretty good rating system where he says, like, if something's a 7, it could be a strong 7. It could be a decent 7. I think he even says
7.
light 7. So, I mean, he kind of has 3 levels in there.
Right. So it's a 30-point scale.
Almost. Yeah. I don't know if anything's like a strong one.
A weak one. Yeah.
A decent one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that happens much.
Right.
But for those finer points on those higher numbers.
That's a good one. Someone did one of the Lawrence was back at the gym. You probably remember Lawrence or Tyler, either way.
Yep.
And he hasn't been around for like 3 years, and he's moved back to town and came to the gym.
Oh, he actually moved back?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And he was talking about the podcast, and I could tell he's been listening to it. And you know, as far as I never assumed that people listen to it. Like,
I don't either.
I don't expect people at the gym to listen to it. And so he's talking about it, and I was kind of surprised that he does and still did. And he said, "Hey, you've been having a lot of good guests on lately." I'm like, "Yeah, we really have. It's been fun." He's like, "Yeah, it's great because then I don't just have to listen to you guys talk about sparkling about LaCroix the whole time." And with a joke.
He's got a point.
You know, yeah.
You would be shocked, Tanner, though. I get on a weekly basis multiple DMs of people sending me the craziest flavored beverages.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you get Tanner with this one. I'm like, I don't even know where I get that beverage. Like, I can't even get, I guess I could maybe find it on Amazon, but
People need to send those
multiple
things
people,
to us.
yeah, they should send it, but multiple people have just say, yeah, oh, go on Amazon and get this. And I probably just need to do that. But there's some crazy flavors in my DMs, Tanner.
Do you remember The Office where the warehouse guy, I think maybe I'm confusing shows and scenarios. The warehouse guys won the lottery.
And they just don't show up?
Well, what is the show where they make an energy drink that's like, isn't it like penis flavored or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have not seen
Someone will
every
fact
episode
check
of The
me on
Office.
that
But
a little
yeah,
bit.
the one I think on The Office when they win the lottery, they just don't show up, and so then they send like Jim and those guys down to work.
Yeah, and they've set up like the grease.
Yes, which is like
Kevin-
that's when after Michael leaves and just everyone turns into like everyone has the
Has to be-
intelligence level of
yeah.
a kindergartner.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Like
right.
literally, they don't know any. Like it's how do these people even get to work in the morning?
Yeah, it's like Michael's gone, so everyone had to be a little Michael just to.
Oh, a major like even Michael Scott wouldn't be that dumb. That's what gets so annoying about that show. But
Right. Yeah, it's a lot different from season 1 to say season 8.
yeah,
It is a lot
It
different.
did really change.
Yeah. What do we got next? We got a couple topics we were going to talk about before our guest. No, the first thing, we have something. Wait, we do have something lifting related.
We
something
do.
strongman.
Yes, we have.
But I'd almost like to talk about the other thing for. Oh God, are we going to get to everything? Maybe we have to save something.
We
I don't know.
could save something. I mean, it depends on how long we want to keep our guests waiting, and if we want to keep something to talk about next week.
That's true.
All of this lighthearted
we-
banter has
I
just
think
gotten
we have
so far.
time to talk. had no idea we'd been talking that long. I think we have time to talk about one out of the two of those things.
Okay.
Which one do you think we should talk about?
Is one more timely than the other?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I kind of want to just talk about Instagram
I do
Reels.
too. That's kind of what
Okay.
I wanted to talk
Okay.
about too. The other one will.
We
I
can
guess you'll have
wait.
to tune in next week to find out what we
do have
want to talk
something
about.
something kind of exciting and fun
It's
to talk
funny
about.
because we're like, oh,
strongman-related.
we'll talk about that for the entire first half hour,
Right.
and now we're not even going to talk about it at all.
Right. So there is something kind of exciting on the horizon, strongman related, but we can save that for next time. It is time sensitive, but not so time sensitive that matters today. But what I wanted to talk about, and after we quit recording last time, I said, damn it, I really wanted to talk about this Instagram Reels.
Yes.
So Instagram Reels is a new thing that Instagram added in, back stories used to not be a thing. IGTV used to not be a thing. They're adding these other things, stories combated Snapchat, I would say. IGTV combated YouTube.
Yeah.
And then, of course, everyone was using, what's the thing that everyone's using that Reels goes after?
Oh, TikTok.
TikTok. There you go. I just can't think of it.
When you said
son-
everyone using, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about like some physical product people were
I'm the
using.
only person in my house that doesn't use TikTok. My son and my wife both check TikTok.
I mean, my wife,
yeah,
my wife has it and
Yeah.
sometimes spends a lot of time on it. But
right, and like my family members are posting on it, but they check it.
I have this theory. I can't imagine I'm the first person to have this, but so like, do you understand like that TikTok dances and like challenges are a huge thing? Like,
right, because they have music license through TikTok, certain songs, right?
Well, yeah, and like certain songs, it's just like it gets a dance or like some meme that goes with it, and it just blows up. So like, I literally think like people are trying to make songs that have just the weirdest, wackiest
TikTok.
noise, just with the idea that like people are going to hear it and be like, it's such a distinguished sounding song. Like it's so different that you're like, okay, yeah, this is a TikTok song. Cause like there's so many songs that I don't even know what they are. And someone's like, oh yeah, that's a TikTok song.
Right.
And like, I think people are literally making music for that now.
I bet you're right.
Just to try and just to hit like on the TikTok algorithm or go viral on TikTok. And then by default, now you're on the charts for Spotify and all these other things.
Is TikTok having to pay for that music to get on TikTok? Because they can't just put any music on. You can't just...
I don't know the finer points of that. And then also now, like, because, there was the whole thing with Trump wanting to get rid of TikTok.
Right.
And then Microsoft was trying to buy them out. And now Oracle, another tech company, it sounds like that they have accepted Oracle's bid to be, TikTok. What a world.
But who knows what that means for the future of TikTok? It'd be like if Facebook came in and bought TikTok, you're like, you ruined it. Great.
Like if Instagram tried to buy Massenomics, like, sorry, you can't afford it.
Maybe one pair of lift shorts. But so Instagram brought in this Reels thing.
Yep.
And it basically, from how I understand it, is TikTok on Instagram.
I don't use that part of it at all.
Right. And I have never created an Instagram Reels. I played in it like for 5 minutes twice. Mm-hmm. And like both times I'm like a couple times I'm like, maybe we need to have an Instagram Reels. Like, I guess like we do the thing where you snap your fingers and jump, and each time you're wearing a different Massenomics shirt.
And just be real wacky and crazy.
Right. And I'm like, I don't know. That's not my personality exactly, for one. And B, I'm like, both times I looked, I'm like, is this worth the time and effort of me learning how to do this?
And then also you have to assume someone in our audience is going to go into the Reels and watch it.
Right. And like IGTV, from what I've seen, does terrible. Like performs horribly compared to regular posts.
Like the only people the only things that I know of that are ever worth watching on IGTV, those people are already putting it on YouTube already. They're just putting it on IGTV
just to
too.
Also have it on there.
I'm going to watch it on YouTube because YouTube is a 10 billion times better viewing experience.
So, but my probably the number one thing about this Reels thing is when you go to your search, you call it the search page,
the Discover page.
The Discover page. They are like,
should we put it to the test right now?
Yes. I bet if we both put it to the test, we'll experience the same thing.
And what you're going to say is there's going to be a girl dancing or doing makeup or
like 50% naked.
Yes. Yeah. Basically naked. I was going to say wearing nothing. That will be at the top of my Reels.
I mean,
you got a girl doing something wacky, trying to do a skit. And I have Kawhi Leonard throwing bricks.
That's funnier.
That's like the first time I've ever gotten anything like that. I'm just going to refresh it just to see what happens though. Yep. A girl being wacky, doing something about like jokes about her husband or something.
Right.
Like, and I do not watch those channels or those things ever.
That's what's going to be my point is on mine, it should be popping up with lifting things like that. I only follow lifters.
Yeah.
Through Mastonomics. I'm talking through Mastonomics.
Refresh it again. Yeah. And it's just a girl working out, which I do not follow people like that. I don't watch stuff like that. Like it's clearly just trying to force stuff on you. And it's so off.
Well, and it seems like Reels must really favor women being like mostly naked.
That
seems to be
one of the few that I get that aren't that. It's like kids that are like clearly teenagers, like they're very young, like trying to be comedians and do funny things, which is to me kind of what TikTok is. And they are not funny at all. Like it's not a unique perspective. It's not witty. It's not clever. It's not funny. It's just like, I guess you're trying to be cute about this. And it's not good.
And I don't like that it pops up these things that I'm not interested
in. Yeah. Big at the top. Like, you must watch this.
Right. And it's like you made the even comment, even it's like, well, some of that stuff's borderline like not safe for work. Like, be like, what do you have on your phone? And
like if you walked into an office building 20 years ago and you had like like reels printed on a magazine, and you're just sitting there reading it. You'd be like,
is that a Playboy?
Yeah, your manager would be like, hey, I feel like this should be common sense, but don't look at that in the office.
Like those reels are like borderline like softcore porn at some point in time where I'm like, why is like what? And you just, I mean, I'm sure those people are getting a huge reach from when they do that too. So they're like just doing it more.
Probably.
Like if they're getting putting on everyone's Discover page, they probably
they're getting rewarded for
right,
it now.
right. Yeah. I just don't really.
Reels.
Yeah.
We probably sound like old people complaining about
guess we
things.
probably do.
But really, reels does suck though.
Yeah. I think it does.
Until they figure out a way to make it better. But for now, it sucks.
When I don't want to, this is definitely an old person thing. I don't want to learn how to do it. Like I don't want them to disrupt the system as I understand it currently. So
I feel like that is kind of the beauty of Instagram though, is that it's simpler and not like just this dumpster of shit like Facebook is. Like Facebook turned into this thing where there was games and reposts of everything and just like checking in and all this dumb shit that like you do not care about. And like that is what ruined Facebook, is it just turned into just a feed of absolute garbage.
That's a good point.
And like that's what makes Instagram good, is like it's just pictures of people I want to follow, and that's it.
And
or videos, but it's just it's from the people I want to follow. I don't have to get all this other stuff. It's not all these people posting just opinions all day long.
Right. And I like that you brought it up there, that they don't make it really easy to share things onto your wall.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even a native way in Instagram
there
to
isn't.
do that, is
No,
there?
there is not. You know, for a
Which
photo,
already cuts out 50% of the lowest common denominator.
right, exactly.
there.
Like all those people that like have Facebook and just share every like political, like
do I
all
have
their vacuum chamber. Is that what the term for that? When you just
echo
like
chamber,
echo chamber.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Echo chamber. All the echo chamber people that are like, yes, let me reshare these like.
This will own them right here.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
And I do, and granted, we share stuff on Instagram from followers and stuff like that, and I think that that's much different. And,
Very different
right.
than like some conspiracy theory post that you found
Right.
somewhere that you think is a real hot take.
Yeah, overall, I still like Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't like Reels. I don't like really the IGTV thing. It's fine, but it's just they don't perform well from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But I did get on board with the stories. At first, I wasn't. I was like, why is the stories? Snapchat already
stories
exists,
work
but-
because Snapchat was doing it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it kind of does fit in with Instagram's thing. It is really funny that like in the tech sector, you can just basically just copy another app's design perfectly like get away with it.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like, I don't mean perfectly, like copy it exactly. And like, that's okay to do.
Yeah. I mean, Instagram just does it for every other thing then, right?
Yeah.
Just some work and some don't. IGTV didn't really work. Stories does work.
Yeah.
So that's what we chose to talk about. So next, so you have to wait for the.
For someone wanting some lifting related topics in that first half. Oh boy!
But we are going to get to lifting related topics with our guest after we read some ads. So
this is like your pun. This is like you got to do the work. You got to listen to us before you get to the other person. Yeah. You got to put in that work.
People have asked for timestamps before. People that listen on YouTube, and I suppose even maybe podcast listeners, and you're not getting them. No timestamps.
I mean, it doesn't take that long to figure out our format, but
right. No, I'd be like, well, I'll skip to the 30-minute mark. But no, you're not getting timestamps. You are not going to just skip around all haphazardly and miss us talking about something that we think is important.
Skipping on your jolly way through this podcast.
No. Who listens to a podcast like that anyways and is like, I'm going to skip around.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
We're not allowing it. This episode of the Massenomics podcast is brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. If you've been training without a coach and have been looking for a competitive edge, remember to check out hybridperformancemethod.com. Hybrid has 15 different strength and fitness programs covering everything from powerlifting and strongman to gymnastics and general fitness, all included in one training membership. That's not all. Hybrid also offers one-on-one personalized nutrition coaching that uses lifestyle habits and a flexible approach to shape your nutrition plan around your current lifestyle instead of turning your lifestyle upside down in order to support unsustainable habits that only work in the short run the way most programs do. If you're ready to take your training, nutrition, or both to the next level, use code MASS in all caps, that's MASS, all caps, for 5% off membership to all programs for the life of your membership. The Massenomics podcast is also brought to you by the fine folks at Spud Inc. and the Lat Saw with cable handles. Get a great back workout or challenge your training partner to a medieval sword fight. The choice is yours.
LARPing.
LARPing. The Spud Inc. Lat Saw is a new level of back mutilation. This medieval-looking torture device is designed to work your lats at every possible angle, letting you get the most out of the Econo Tricep and lat pulley or low pulley system at your home gym. Use the included deluxe cable handles to move from wide to narrow grip instantly. And the Lat Saw includes one pair of Spud Inc. deluxe cable handles. If you order that one, that's I mean, you got to order that one to get the cable handles. That's why they call it the Lat Saw with cable handles. They don't want to confuse people.
When you say it like that, now I get it.
You can check out the Spud Inc. Lat Saw with cable handles online at spud-inc-straps.com. Today's show is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid-70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell, building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, world, and Massenomics powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit texaspowerbars.com. And finally, today's show is brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large sets the new standard for customer service within the strength world. Get email responses in hours, not days. They now have live website chat support available during the weekdays, so you can get advice from a real powerlifter with actual platform experience. The Lifting Large team wants to help you achieve new PRs in the gym and on the competition stage. When you're ready to try single ply and make your way to the dark side, give them a call. Lifting Large is home of the Ground Lock Deadlift Slipper, and it's always in stock and always ready to ship. Mastonomics listeners can save 20% on all Lifting Large branded products by using discount code MASS20 at checkout. That's MASS20 to save 20% on all Lifting Large branded items. Place your orders at liftinglarge.com, and you can follow them on Instagram at liftinglarge.com. That's at liftinglarge.com. Thank you to our sponsors.
That's all of them already, huh?
That is all of them.
Well, we better get Adam of Garage Gym Lab on the horn here.
Load it up.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Let's see if we can get some audio going here with Adam of Garage Gym Lab.
Is this the Massenomics podcast?
You are in luck. You found the right number. You are actually live on the Massenomics podcast right now.
Oh my gosh, what a surprise. This is amazing, guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty common reaction.
Yeah.
So
how are you guys?
We're
really good.
We're good. This is Tanner speaking,
and this is Tommy.
Just so you're familiar.
Awesome, guys.
And if we're correct, this is Adam that we're talking to then, right?
You dialed the wrong number. Or the right number, rather.
Okay, good. All right, good.
No, it's a pleasure and an honor to be on this podcast, guys. Thanks a lot for having me.
Well, we are excited to have you here today. We got a pretty extensive list of questions lined up. So, assuming you only answer each question for a minute or two, this will take about 2 hours. So,
okay, I'll try my best.
Okay.
First thing what I'm wondering is a couple just like almost housekeeping things. Where are you located at? You know, a few of these things we're not even 100% sure ourselves. So where are you based out of?
Yeah, so I am in a smaller town called Indian Land, South Carolina. It's basically just south of Charlotte. So I've spent the last 10 years or so in Charlotte, but my family and I just moved 10 miles south back to my home state of South Carolina. I'm originally from here, from a small beach town in South Carolina. So it's nice to be back, but yeah, I'm a southeastern Carolina boy through and through.
I got to be honest. When you started to say the state and you said South, I thought you were going to really surprise us and say South Dakota. I'd be like, really? That is so weird. We didn't know that.
Yeah. You know, I saw some news about South Dakota, like your attorney general or something recently had gotten into some trouble.
That is big in the news.
Yeah. He hit a person. Thought he hit a deer. Kept going. The next day drove by, found out he hit a person. Kind of a weird series of events.
Yeah. Could happen to anybody, right?
So not surprising. There seems to be a lot of questions about that right now going on.
But our completely solid Republican government through and through, you don't have to worry about any corruption. No one's on the same side there. It'll be very straightforward.
That's right.
Yeah. And I've actually never been to South Dakota. I'd love to come up there sometime.
You're kind of ruining the end, but I do like to say at the end that next time you're in Northeast South Dakota, make sure to look us up. But I'll get that out of the way now. Yeah. Next time you're in Northeast South Dakota, make sure to look us up.
I'll do that.
So South Carolina, and you are the owner, proprietor, head honcho at Garage Gym Lab, correct?
That is correct. Yeah. I started Garage Gym Lab, a few years ago. And here I do equipment reviews and try to create as much content as I can around the home gym experience and, just try to provide some inspiration and thoughts and advice on how people can train at home and anyone who is just otherwise looking to expand their knowledge about equipment.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but would you say that the home gym scene has seen a bit of a boom in the last several months here?
Yeah, I mean, you could call it a boom. I mean, it's of epic proportions. I mean, I don't think anybody could have seen this coming the way it's happened. I mean, it's kind of interesting. On one side of fitness, it's been devastating. And then on the other side of fitness, with regards to equipment, it's been absolutely booming.
Yeah.
But the movement towards the home gym was immediate and all-encompassing. I mean, it was so fast and so deep that, as you know, companies can't even come close to keeping up with the demand. People have been out of stock now for months, and I don't think that there's really an end in near-term sight, at least. I think we're going to be probably trying to get through flu season before stock is truly regulated. But, I think we're experiencing a paradigm shift in this industry. I think the eyes have been sort of open to what is accessible at home, that not necessarily commercial gyms are the only answer. And I think it's going to continue. It's, we're at the forefront of a movement, I think.
I think that's all very, very likely. Have you been a home gym guy forever, or was there some turning point or something that happened that switched you over to it?
Yeah, I was actually the opposite of a home gym guy. I started my home gym in 2016. So my wife and I bought our house in 2016. And at the time we were looking to start our family. We have 2 kids now. And I was, waking up at 4:00 in the morning. I was driving 30 minutes to, one of the nicest gyms in Charlotte called Fitness Factory. Just absolutely amazing equipment and just a really cool vibe. But this was the type of gym that didn't have any showers. So I was literally paying a second gym membership just so I could drive a mile and take a shower there before heading to work.
That's dedication.
Yeah. before getting back home, at 8:00 at night. So I was basically gone from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for my family. It was kind of taking the pleasure out of working out. So I decided to start a home gym in 2016 during Black Friday. So I picked up a little kit from Rogue. Just started with the basics, your rack, bench, bar, and some plates. And over the next, call it 10 months, I grew it very little. I think I picked up like a commercial glute ham raise and a couple other bars. And then in August of 2017, my wife went into labor. And while we were there, I had the bright idea of starting this venture. Perfect timing, my wife likes to say. And the rest is history. So I've been a home gym owner for 4 years now.
And Garage Gym Lab, say the name and the company as we know it kind of started in August of 2017, you'd say then?
I started working on it in August.
Okay.
I didn't know a dang thing about setting up a website or anything like that. So for the next 3 or 4 months, I just kind of dove headfirst into learning. I wrote a handful of articles to kind of put on my website to make it look like I wasn't just, some dipshit out there trying to do something.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
We still look like dipshits, but
yeah. And I officially launched it in November, so a few months later. So
Okay.
It's been about two and a half years now.
There's two different lines I want to go on based off that, and they don't go in similar directions, but I'm just going to do one and hopefully get back to another one later. The one thing I was going to say is that Tommy and I do not train at a home gym, but what we do, we have Massenomics Gym, which is what I kind of consider it's like a it's a glorified garage gym in the sense that, we have over the last 5 years, we have 20 to 40 people that have been a part of it and lift there and kind of pool our resources to an extent. And then, we've bought a lot of used equipment over the years. Maybe we'll save and buy something from Rogue that we're interested, or something from Elite FTS, or something from Titan, or Go Strong, wherever we can get something, or like I said, a lot of used stuff. So we really act as almost like a larger garage gym. My question though about what you were talking about, the time frame on this equipment, and this is almost like a personal question. I'm under the impression, I'm hoping for this giant boom to die down, and I hope that someday there's going to be this point in time where a lot of people that have bought this new equipment, that a fraction of them decide, I don't want that anymore, I want to sell it, and a whole bunch of people experience that at the same time. And then there's this used equipment market where instead of like it is now, where things are selling for double or triple their normal face value, where they're selling for 50% or a third of their face value. Do you think a day like that is going to come ever, or is that wishful thinking in my case?
I think there will be some right sizing to the market, sort of a reversion to what we've become accustomed to over the last, forever. But I'm not totally convinced that it's going to go down as low as some people hope.
Right.
You look at the used market now, obviously, like you said, prices are outrageous. So I'm really curious to see how some of the people who have paid these enormous prices react when they do go back to their gym. Are they going to be willing to unload that equipment at a massive loss? Or are they going to say, screw it, now I've got the equipment, I'm just going to keep it?
Right.
And I'm not sure what that's going to look like. But yes, I don't think that this is going to be permanent by any means. I think once gyms fully open back up, and there are other options out there for people, prices have to go down. Because right now there's the supply and demand is so wonky that this has just been the byproduct of that. So naturally it's going to revert. But I just don't know how long that's going to be and to what extent.
Right.
Makes sense. So now talking equipment, we got all types of stuff to say about equipment here. The Massenomics Gym has a pretty decent collection of equipment from a lot of manufacturers. So
a lot of different bars.
I feel like we have a decent insight over here. We've seen a few things. One thing that I'm always curious, and you probably pay more attention to this than I do. Like I like to, in my free time, I watch a fair amount of like tech reviewers and things like that on YouTube. And, there's always like, especially in the tech world, there's like specs and stats that the manufacturers are always trying to push at people. And a lot of times like those numbers don't necessarily mean a better product. It's just like numbers or marketing really. Is there anything comparable like to that, would you say, in the fitness world where they're trying to market numbers or things that don't necessarily make a difference for the actual use of the product?
Yes, yes, there are. I mean, there are some specs that are absolutely valid, and then there are some specs that are completely meaningless and, like you said, are essentially a marketing ploy. Like when I look at a barbell online and it says that it's rated at 1,500 pounds, you can throw that right out the window because that's a static hold, and if you're actually lifting weights, that's not the way bars operate.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's a meaningless stat. I think to an extent, tensile strength is also a metric that is overblown. You see like 190,000 PSI tensile strength or 220,000 PSI tensile strength. 99.9% of people aren't going to be able to tell a difference between those two bars. It doesn't affect rigidity of a bar that is largely influenced by the diameter of a shaft. But it still has some merit to it. It's just not as important as some people may lead on. So to answer your question, yeah, there are definitely some specs out there that, aren't the end all be all. And then there are some that are totally valid. So it's a sort of a mixed bag.
Yeah. I think that's so your answer is kind of yes. It's not unsimilar to that tech space then for sure.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
So you getting Garage Gym Lab up and off the ground in say November 2017. What I'm really curious about, maybe most curious about anything today, is you just made the decision very recently to go full time into that venture. Is that right? You quit your other what would have been your day job prior to this and going full time 100%.
I sure did. Yep.
So what? How long had you been thinking about doing that? And was it how difficult of a decision was it to do it? And was there anything that finally tipped the scale for you?
Yeah, it's been something that I've been thinking about for, I would say, a while now, probably the past year or so. And there was definitely a tipping point. It was COVID. The way I kind of have approached this COVID environment is it's been more or less a great reset for me personally. And I just kind of reflected on a lot of things in my life. And one of those was my career. For those who don't know, I was working in commercial real estate, specifically apartment investing for the last 12 years. And, it was fine. I was good at it and enjoyed it for the most part, but the passion, was starting to evaporate. And what I sort of realized during this pandemic was there's no better time than now because you really just don't know. And the fact that it happened to match up with one of the biggest booms in this industry, it just sort of made sense. At my career, the entire corporate office had to take pay cuts. We lost, a lot of our benefits. 10% of people got laid off. So I started asking myself, what am I really giving up here? I'm doing Garage Gym Lab 30% of the time. It's booming. I'm not really passionate about my career. Let's take the plunge now. Like, what do I have to leave here? So in June, I let my company know. We worked out an 8-week sort of transition period, and the beginning of August was, my last day there. My wife and my family and I bought a new house, like I mentioned earlier, in Indian Land. So the past month or so has been kind of dealing with that. And I'd say within the last 2 weeks, I've been, hard in the saddle working with Garage Gym Lab full time.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's
the American dream.
That is, doing the thing you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited. It's, this has been definitely what I've been wanting to do. And, the fact that it's finally here is something that I'm proud of and really excited to be doing it.
Are there things you feel like you can do different or things you had planned that you didn't have the time to do before? Or what do you think you can do better now that you can go at 100%?
Yes, absolutely. So, starting with content, this is a content-driven industry. So to the extent that I can increase my content while still delivering as much value as I can, I want to be able to do that. And like I mentioned earlier, dedicating 30% of my time, for the last 10 months or so, my consistency with my content was quite frankly not very good. We had a kid. My team at work went from 3 to 2, COVID, whatever the excuses are. The fact of the matter is my consistency wasn't very good. So I'm going to be able to present and, create a lot more content these days. I'll be going full time into YouTube, which is something that I sort of dabbled in a couple of years ago, but due to me wanting to try to focus most of my time on the website, didn't really take off. So I'll be doing a lot more of that. And about a year ago, I started this, what I consider to be a pretty massive web project that I'm still working on right now. And I realized that if I was still at my full-time job, I'd probably be working on it for another year. So now I'll be able to kind of commit all of my time to that, get it out, over the next few months, and yeah, just deliver as much quality content as I can.
That's awesome. And in my opinion, one of the things that is missing today is like quality original content. Like people just want to repost, retake things, like not actually produce content. So, we produce a lot of original content here at Massenomics. So we're always fans of people that are actually doing new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, in an industry where there's been sort of, a copycat mentality, at least on the equipment side, to the extent that you can be original and do original things and create original content, I think that's really helpful and very cool. So hats off to you guys, and hopefully I can do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. So about that then, as long as we're talking about it, so you have competitors that do similar things. I don't know who all exactly you look at as kind of your direct competitors. And I'm not sure that it's a zero-sum game anyways. I think it's probably a situation where all of you growing is good for you anyways. It's not like if you get a set of eyeballs that one of your competitors doesn't get the set of eyeballs too. But is there anything that you see that you either can do better or need to do better, or just any ways to differentiate from some of those other ones too?
Well, I think that my goal is just to present my unique perspective and my unique voice to my content.
Yeah.
I don't really concern myself with what other people are doing.
Yep.
As long as I'm better than what I was yesterday and I'm progressing towards my goals, I'm happy and I'm content. As long as I'm creating value for people and they're getting use out of the content, I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
But to your point earlier, yes, a rising tide lifts all ships sort of thing.
Yeah.
So when my quote unquote competitors are doing well, I applaud them. Yeah. I am excited about that because it just means that the industry is progressing, and I get to participate in that. So yeah, I'm, just trying to kind of put out my unique voice.
Yeah.
I think that's the right perspective to take with it, though.
But what we would really like to get is a sound clip of you talking shit either about Garage Gym Experiment or Garage Gym Reviews. Is there any chance you're going to do that?
and this, we will obviously be posting this on Instagram, so just really choose your words wisely here.
Yeah, I've only had one beer tonight. It's going to take a lot more than that.
What I would wonder is, do you talk to the people that run any of those other pages very much? Like, do you ever?
Yeah, no, I talked to several of them. Jake and I have actually collaborated on some stuff in the past, and we together are on the Garage Competition Council, which is basically a virtual powerlifting competition. You guys are probably aware of it. I think you maybe threw in some swag.
Yeah, I think we have.
So so we are on the same council, so we're always kind of talking. And we follow each other on Instagram, and I like his stuff, he likes my stuff, kind of thing. So yeah, we're cool.
Right on. Not the dish that we were hoping to get today.
Yeah, we were hoping for something a little juicier there, but we'll figure out a way to make that work.
We'll pull individual words.
Can you say the word hate really strongly right now, just so we have that to work with?
Hate.
Perfect. Okay, I think this interview is done.
That's what we got. Yeah. We got the sound we needed.
Perfect.
No, that's cool. That's all good. That's cool, I think.
Yeah.
We experienced that in our own way as far as, selling merchandise in the lifting space. We're buddies with a whole bunch of other companies that do similar things to us, and it's only helped us, I think, in multiple ways.
I mean, I don't know how many people but I know quite a few people that own more than 2 t-shirts. So like there's room for more,
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, I came out with some merch too, so I'm right in the same boat as you guys.
So that's another thing is, so you don't have to get in the details of dollars and cents here, but the business that you run, you probably have a few different ways of actually bringing in the revenue. You're talking about the merchandise. I know you sell shirts and several banners that you've got there. And then another one we talked about it is, I suppose, affiliate relationships are a big thing, right?
Yeah. That's that's more or less the meat and potatoes of the whole deal. So, if someone goes onto my website or watches a video and, likes what they see, clicks through to a Rogue Fitness or something like that, and ends up buying something, that I earn a small commission for it. So that's where, the business side of it comes in. The merch is, it's income. It's not going to I'm not going to retire early on it, but it's fun and it's cool to see, other garage gym owners putting the banners in their spaces and wearing my t-shirts. And, that's just really cool. And I'm honored that they would, spend their money on my stuff.
Yeah. So we still say the same thing. It's just cool. Seeing who does your stuff pop up on? It just people, the support you get from across the internet, the country, the world. It's always cool to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've gotten the chance in the past to do a couple giveaways with you and stuff, and that has been fun. We'll just thinking on the top of my head, we have to do that again sometime. That's
I would love that.
Yeah, well,
we need to do that, and maybe we can come up with an arrangement where I get some "Don't Curl Me" banners or something selling on my site, and increase exposure to Massenomics, and otherwise just do some cool stuff together.
Yeah, right on, for sure.
Yep, definitely.
We like making money and doing cool stuff.
Two of my favorite things right there.
Boxes, yeah.
Yeah, ditto.
I'm just thinking, before we're done at the end of today's episode, we have to play our overrated, underrated game with you. But I'm wondering, before we got into that, was there a couple more equipment questions that we have?
Okay. Yeah. I had, so with equipment, the fitness industry is notorious for going through fads and trends and things like that. Do you think that there's any pieces of equipment right now that manufacturers are putting out that are hot or trendy that 5 years from now people are going to be like, that was kind of just a fad that didn't have staying power to it?
That's a really good question. I don't know that anybody's ever asked it to me that way. I'm sure there's some things out there that are faddish, but for the most part, I think that what companies are producing these days is real and does have staying power. I mean, it's sort of the basics evolved into some other, areas. What I'm really curious to see is how the technology aspect of fitness turns out over the next decade. Is that kind of stuff going to be a fad? Are these tonal gyms and Pelotons and things like that going to end up being a fad? I don't necessarily think that they're going to be. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious to see how it's all going to play out.
Yeah.
But if you go on to whatever, name it, roguefitness.com, and just start perusing their website to try to find gimmicky stuff. I don't know. I mean, yes, there is stuff out there. I'm sure you can find some mobility stuff that's hot garbage, and it's got 5 rollers that you put on your forearm and have that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's kind of BS. But when it comes to the basics, your barbells and your plates, specialty bars, things like that, I think that for the most part, it's all going to have some pretty good staying power.
Yeah. So you did mention there, the Peloton, things like that are kind of like this tech / subscription type service. Did you see what Apple announced yesterday? It was like Apple Fitness, I think is what they called it.
I have not seen it.
Oh, no. Okay. So they had like a one of their fall keynotes yesterday, And they did announce that I think it's called Apple Fitness, and it's, I think, like $10 a month, and it's your online fitness classes, whether it's, I don't know if they have cycling, and I mean, I think it's for the most part, stuff you're doing in your house, but just, it's an interesting thing that you have one of the biggest, from a money standpoint, company in the world is now getting into the fitness industry too. It's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. And I think it's a real testament to what's happening right now, because they're making fitness more accessible to people outside of just the gym, which I think is, sort of the movement that we chatted about earlier. So the fact that they're signing on to that is, I think, further proof that we're sort of moving in that direction.
Yeah. So equipment, you see a lot of garage gyms, you see a lot of get tagged in them all the time, I would imagine. Making the assumption that most of these garage gyms have the basics, we'll say a rack of some sort, a barbell of some sort, and weights of some sort. Is there one piece of equipment that you see a lot of garage gyms don't have, but you think should or would be quick to recommend?
So outside of the basics, are we including dumbbells in those basics?
Yeah.
I think that dumbbells have, yeah. So I think dumbbells would be sort of my next thing after.
I think that's a good answer still too. Yeah.
Yes, out of the big four. But outside of that, I mean, when you start looking at machines, I think a lat pull down low row is probably the best next piece. Obviously, it's all dependent on, a given person's training style and what their goals are and things like that. But a lat pull low row has a lot of versatility, doesn't take up a huge amount of space, and can be had for a relatively, inexpensive budget. So I think that would probably be the one thing that most people don't have, but probably should, if that answers your question.
Yeah, for sure. And I know a lot of, Rogue and Rep and a whole bunch of them, they've been working on these various pulley systems that go onto their large racks too. I know that's been a big thing over the last year or two, of them been coming out with variations of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I just got the new Rep PR5000 V2 rack.
Yeah.
And got that built up over the last week, and they've got the lat pull low row plate loaded system on the back of their rack. And I mean, it's pretty cool for relatively inexpensive. I mean, it's a nice piece that adds a lot of variety to your training. I mean, it's not going to be a commercial grade unit. Right. I've got a Prime Fitness selectorized unit here too. That's unbelievable. That adds a ridiculous amount of versatility, but for a few $100s to throw it on your rack, it's pretty cool.
You talked about it. It makes a difference of the style of training of what people want and everything like that. And I guess it occurred to me, we hadn't really asked you, what about you for yourself? How would you categorize the type of training that you're most interested in?
Yeah. So my training is primarily centered around the squat, bench, and deadlift. I'm not aiming to be a competitive power lifter. I was about 5 years ago, ended up tearing my QL and kind of had a long recovery doing stupid shit until I've kind of figured out what I really should be doing to correct my back. So now I kind of just do it for fun. I mean, it's also hard to train with specificity when you're reviewing a lot of equipment, because I'm constantly trying out new specialty bars, new straight bars. It just creates a bit of a dynamic that makes it a little bit more challenging to take on a traditional powerlifting training. But my heart is still with the squat, bench, and deadlift. So that's what I base everything off of. And I still enjoy a good upper body pump. So anytime I can get my accessory bodybuilding type movements in, I like to do that. All the essentials.
Yeah,
exactly. And I don't all the time curl in my squat rack, but it just depends.
To be like fully on the record with that, I don't know that either of us personally have a huge vendetta against that. We did think it made for a really funny flag and design, though.
No, it's absolutely perfect. Even if you do squat or curl in the squat rack, rather, it's still awesome.
Right. Actually, we sell quite a few shirts to people that want to buy them, then to post them curling in the squat rack. That's a common theme. Like, haha, take this.
The old reverse psychology.
Yeah, exactly. I think I actually might have done that. I think I did a video of me curling in my squat rack and maybe tagged you guys in it a little while back. So I think that's hilarious. And I think what you guys have done with the, enormously overpriced lifting shorts is awesome.
That is certainly our claim to fame, I believe, is the lift shorts.
Our contribution to society.
You will be sad to hear that the guests of the podcast do not receive free lift shorts because nobody receives free lift shorts. So,
well, I guess I'm not surprised. I mean, do you have any coupon codes? Like, it's so expensive, man.
Most of the coupons actually raise the price of the lift shorts, so that doesn't really work in your favor either.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. It's like when you watch Shark Tank and what's his name? The guy in the middle when you try to
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, when you try to barter with Mr. Wonderful, and he's like, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm going the opposite direction. It just went higher.
Yes.
It's like a big FU.
That's very much the lift short strategy.
Makes sense.
Okay, so we do have this game that we play each week with our guests. It's called Overrated or Underrated. Are you familiar with the concept at all?
I'm totally familiar. I participate every time you guys put this on your Instagram stories.
All right, so you do
we
know.
got a bit of an expert here.
A know-it-all.
Yeah, I'm gonna crush this. I'm gonna crush this. Trust me.
There is a lot on the line with overrated, underrated. It's mostly fake and made up points, but there is quite a bit on the line. And the key to remember while you're playing live on the show is that you do have to come up with an answer of overrated and underrated. You can't ride the fence, but you do get your druthers with your answer as far as answering and elaborating as much as you'd like or leaving it as brief as you'd like. So those are your druthers. Are you ready to play?
I'm so ready to play.
Okay. So, and actually we have to call an audible on one of these, I think, right, Tommy? Because he already answered it, really.
We do. I can put one in there if you need me to.
I have a replacement one. So we were going to ask you, barbell tensile strength was going to be one, but I think you actually
that's
basically
hilarious.
played that to the game here. So we're going to go in replace of that. Topic number one, overrated or underrated, will be stainless steel barbells.
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I would say that stainless steel is overrated. And I would say that because stainless steel over time can still present some oxidation. It does provide amazing grip that's equivalent to what you would find on a bare steel, but it's not completely 100% rust proof. So if it was, I'd probably say underrated. But because of that, I'll lean slightly towards overrated. I'm really riding the fence on that one.
You can't do that,
love stainless. I'm in the overrated camp here.
Okay.
I have several stainless steel bars, and honestly, I use them more than any other bars. They're outstanding. But for the premium that you pay in price, you can get outstanding bars that don't have as high of a price, but you can still maintain them to keep the integrity and that sort of thing. So that one's a hard one for me, but I'll lean overrated.
So it's really the name stainless itself is not actually factually correct then necessarily.
Yeah, no, you can definitely still get oxidation on stainless.
Yeah. Bastards trying to trick us.
Yeah. It's another marketing ploy. It's like Tensile Strength.
Yeah. Okay, overrated or underrated? Zillow. You being the real estate man. Zillow.
Yeah, no.
Have you heard of Zillow? Maybe we need to figure out if you know what Zillow is.
Yeah. No, Zillow is, this completely depends on if you're a buyer or a seller. I'm going to say that Zillow is completely overrated. They don't show their formulas and how they derive their values and things like that. It's cool that you can go on there and see what's on the market, see what's been sold, et cetera. But in terms of trying to make a logical decision about whether or not you should buy or sell real estate, it's totally overrated.
Do people actually take those valuation numbers like do some people think that those are like accurate?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I guess.
Yeah. I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I think that a lot of realtors probably have to combat that whenever they're either pitching a seller on where they should actually price their home or on a buyer on what's a realistic bid. Because either a buyer or seller is going to look at those values and be like, oh, well, this is actually what the numbers say. And it's really not. I mean, it's based on, who knows? It's all arbitrary and, in-house methodology.
Yeah. I never really even thought about that part of it. We live in a, smaller town, 28,000 ish people. And so when you look at the inventory, the numbers are so clearly off on so much of what we see in our town. Yeah. I was just like, oh, that's Zillow trying its best. But I guess, yeah, I can see how some people be like, oh, Zillow says it, so it's true. I never thought about that part of it though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Overrated.
Okay. Overrated or under? You probably didn't know we were going to get you back into real estate on this podcast as well. So there's a surprise, little nugget in there for you. Okay, overrated, underrated, reverse hypers.
Overrated. Well, I'm 3 for 3 on overrated. Yeah. I'm not a big believer in reverse hypers, to be quite honest. They take up a lot of footprint. I think if you don't have your form completely dialed in, they can potentially do more damage than good. And I found, at least anecdotally, personally, that there are outstanding ways to heal an aching back that don't require, $1,000 piece of equipment that takes up a large portion of your footprint. I don't know if you guys are aware of a book called The Gift of Injury by Stuart McGill and Brian Carroll.
Have we reviewed the Gift of Injury on the podcast?
We did the back mechanic.
Okay, we've done the back mechanic. Okay.
Oh, you did the back mechanic? Yeah. Pick up the Gift of Injury if you ever get a chance. I mean, it's outstanding. There's, it's kind of expensive, but there's like a lot of pictures, and it just does a really great job of walking you through an actual experience of a back injury and how Brian Carroll came back to still be an elite power lifter after a devastating back injury. And it's all based around the big three, McGill's big three, which I'm sure you're aware of from the back mechanic. Mm-hmm. But it's done wonders for me, and I think it does wonders for a lot of other people. So in my opinion, reverse hypers, they're cool in that you can do other things with them other than an actual reverse hyper. I mean, they're versatile in their own right, but given the cost, given the footprint, and given the potential injury risk of those who don't know what they're doing, I'll go with overrated.
And don't underestimate how good they are for setting your water bottle on top, leaning against.
That's a great point.
Leaning against while you're on Instagram. They're great. They work.
Yeah.
A phone holder. Yeah. Does a lot of things really well.
That's a great point.
Okay. Also, pro tip, just as long as we're talking with a gym equipment guy, is a great phone tripod is a four board press. Gets used at our gym all the time as a tripod. Never seen it used as a board press. Yeah.
I have not either.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it uses it as the tripod.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I'll go to Home Depot tomorrow.
Yes. Okay. Last one here. Overrated, underrated. This one's kind of for all the marbles. Epoxy garage floor coatings.
Well, I don't think that they have much of a relevance to garage gyms per se. So I'll go for 4 for 4 overrated.
The perfect game.
The sweep.
Yeah, the sweep. I mean, epoxy looks pretty cool. I mean, you can do some really cool designs with it and things like that. But in terms of protecting your equipment from, dropping weights or anything like that, in terms of force distribution, it's not going to do anything to the extent of a proper rubber floor. Even stall mats, which I think a lot of people use. I used it for a really long time in my garage gym. They're great. They're cost, efficient. I've since upgraded to a really proper rubber floor. But yeah, epoxy is cool if you want to park your car in the garage and just have a nice looking floor.
Who wants to do that, though?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and that's what my banner says. Like this is dedicated. This is reserved for lifting, man. There's no parking here. So I have no room for epoxy flooring. Bring on the rubber.
That's what she said.
Shit, I walked right into that one. Outstanding.
Wow.
How many people sweep either overrated or underrated?
I don't think
Not
you get that very often. Yeah.
and we certainly don't go into them trying for it. We don't really.
We don't think of that part at all.
We don't really analyze what people are going to answer too much. We pick topics that we know are
Yeah, we try to
relevant
pick things that are like kind of right down the middle where we
Yeah.
can see them easily going either way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And when you look back at the Tensile Strength one, that was also overrated. So
Yeah, it would have
technically
been
I was
a 5 for 5.
Yeah. So I'll take a pair of free lip shorts for that.
Now, don't get cocky.
We'll have to talk to our company.
All right, yeah, that's great. That was fun. We really appreciate having you on. You can pitch your website and everything again, like you said, the banners and the shirts and everything you got on there, and I suppose your YouTube channel. People should be subscribing to that if you're going to be kicking that up here more in the months to come.
Yeah. So basically you can find me anywhere at Garage Gym Lab on Instagram, GarageGymLab.com for my website, Garage Gym Lab, YouTube, all that. It's all pretty straightforward. I'm very active on Instagram, very active on the website. So, head on over, we'll hang out and, kick it and do some cool stuff in the garage gyms.
Awesome. And you've got over 100,000 Instagram subscribers now too, I think, right?
I do.
Yeah,
it's cool. Actually, it's really cool. I mean, at the end of the day, it's sort of a vanity number, but I'm just really honored that
still cool.
that many people, I'm honored that many people think that whatever I'm putting out there is, worthy of a follow. So it's pretty neat. I'm very, very thankful for that.
We'll make sure to tell all 100,000 that you were on the Massenomics podcast and tell them to come on over.
Hey, I will. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, that was great. We appreciate having you on. That was really cool, Adam.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it, Tanner, Tommy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks.
See ya.
All right. Bye.
Tommy, 2 words. If you could, I know this is not, sometimes 2 words is not an easy task to do, but if someone held a gun to your head and said, summarize that interview in just 2 words, what would you?
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
That's what I do.
Cool. If someone gave me 3 words, I would go, cool beans.
You hit it with the double cool.
Yeah. Or would you go, cool beans?
I'd probably go double cool.
Yeah.
You save the double beans for like a really special time, I think.
Right. Yeah. But that was cool.
That was cool.
Beans, Adam of Garage Gym Lab. Sometimes in my head, ever have words where you want to add an S at the end or like names of companies where sometimes I want to do that with Garage Gym Lab. I want to say labs.
I do the same thing too. And I don't know if it's because I've heard you say it before that way or if I think the same thing in my head, but yeah,
but there is not an S at the end.
I think it's because a lot of things are labs.
Right. I bet you're right.
When things are named a lot of times with the word lab, a lot of time it is labs.
Yeah. I think you're right. Lab. It's one of those words, if you say it enough, it starts to sound funny.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Lab. No, that was cool. That was interesting. It's fun to talk to people like that have a lot of like,
and that we don't know anything about them. Like,
right.
I didn't know that you knew a little bit that he had this like background in real estate, but like, as far as his story of how he got from here to there and that he was doing this full time now, like that's all really cool stuff.
Yeah. It's fun that we get to talk to a lot of people that are taking like some of this such niche stuff, but turning it into like their life and legitimate businesses. Yeah. Like supporting his family
that can support a family.
Garage Gym Lab, which is probably really cool. It's probably really fun for him.
I mean, let's be honest. We'd all rather be just hanging out in a gym all day than messing around with real estate, right?
I didn't ask him this, but it was something I was thinking too. If he ever feels like, if it's ever harder to train sometimes, like,
it's like,
because you're like, well, I'm in,
day.
well, it's like, I can't really just train. This is like my job now. Yeah. Like I should probably, if I'm going to be in here, I need to record it and I need to.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the things you got to be kind of disciplined and careful with,
You probably, I mean, it's like anyone going to the gym, he needs to say, okay, it's 12:30. I'm going to the gym and be like, oh, this will be done at 2 and then I'll go back to work.
Yeah.
So cool stuff from Garage Gym Lab.
Cool beans.
Yeah, cool beans from Garage Gym Lab. And did we talk about apple pie? We got a lot of lift shorts in. We got a lot of cool beans in there at the end, but I don't know if we've mentioned it.
Apple pie.
We should have hit him up on some Garage Gym dessert suggestions.
Yeah. Well, we know that apple pie is so easy to eat in the garage gym. It comes in its own box, easy clean up, no mess.
Yeah, it doesn't get all over your rubber flooring.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about all the new stuff we have on our site.
All types of stuff is restocked. Get on that.
And then in October, we're going to have more new stuff coming.
Some hot heat coming your way.
This is almost like, for as hot as this is almost like the warm up for the big heat that's coming.
What one? Oh, you're saying this restock is the warm up for the?
Yeah, it's all. I mean, although this is hot,
this restock is hot.
Yeah,
it's
hot. It's like a LaCroix fresh out of the oven. Mm-hmm. This one coming in October.
Like you can't smell it, but you know it's hot because it's fresh out the oven.
It's fresh out the oven. This one coming October is just. It's on fire. Mm-hmm. It's flaming. It's like a 12-pack of a case of LaCroix is just going up in smoke.
Yeah.
Is what this October one's going to be like.
Yeah. You just see steam coming out of a box and you're like, that is a 12-pack of LaCroix just steaming away.
Like it's white hot. Like I think that's white hot. I think is a technical term. There's different levels of hotness.
When I was a kid and we played with fireworks and like we'd start stuff on fire, if you get that flame white, you knew
white. I think that's.
I mean, it might have been like a smoke bomb or something in there.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
We didn't ever start any fires like at a gender reveal though, and like burn half the state down either. We didn't do that. I didn't do that.
I saw a funny meme. I guess it wasn't. It's just what someone added is like a tweet and said, "We just had the craziest gender reveal. We were at the doctor's office, and the doctor said, 'There's a penis. It's a boy.' And we said, 'Okay.'"
Yeah. Yep.
Have you noticed the haze in the air?
Yeah. It's
Holy
here.
crap!
Yeah.
Like you can stare directly at the sun because it's not bright.
And you would know, Tanner. You do that a lot. You tell me. Like I check every day how
every day I try to send a new PR of how long I can stare at the sun. And these last few days I've been able to stare a long
PRs,
time. Yep. I can't see much else anymore, but I can look at the sun for a long time. But no, seriously, like the haze in the air is that. Like the other morning, you know how sometimes you can see the moon still in the morning? Mm-hmm. It's bright out, but you still see the moon. For a second there, I was like, geez, the moon looks big. And then I'm like, wait a second,
hanging around a while.
Yeah. Like that is the sun. But I was like, not bright.
I was telling my wife, I'm like, oh my, like, look at the sky, look at it. And she just looked out, like didn't look at the sky, looked outside. She's like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Not even appreciates this as much as I do.
That's borderline a weather update.
It almost is actually, yeah.
Which we haven't been doing.
We did have some cold weather though. For a while,
that's true.
Though.
Yeah,
it got really cold here.
We're on the verge of it's going to be really cold though. Eventually, I mean, I don't.
Last year at this time, I think did we get our first snowstorm? Was it like October 10th or something?
That's probably right. Yeah.
So if it's like last year, we're less than a month out from our first snowstorm, which really sucks to think about.
Yeah,
like really sucks to think about. So I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I posted something on Instagram, a picture of our yard the other day, and one of the Massenomics followers goes, "So how many days until it's covered in snow?" And I was like, yeah, probably not long.
If it's last year, less than 30.
Yeah. Do you want to hear from our sponsors?
I really want to.
Today's show is brought to you by Lifting Large. Lifting Large has set a new standard for customer service within the strength world. They have live website chat support and speedy email responses. Lifting Large is home of the Ground Lock deadlift slipper, which would be great to use in a garage gym.
Very good.
Lifting Large actually has a ton of stuff that would be great to use in a garage gym. If you're a garage gym, if you came here from Adam's page, Adam said, hey, you should check out the Mastonomics podcast. I was on there as a guest. Liftinglarge.com. You should check them out. They have a lot of stuff.
They got a lot of stuff.
Yes. They're the Ground Lock deadlift slipper, for example. They're always in stock and ready to ship. And Massenomics listeners, you can use our discount code. It's MASS20. That'll save you 20% off all Lifting Large branded products. Speaking of companies that have great products for garage gym lifters, Spud Inc. The goal of Spud Inc. Straps is to make products that support sports performance and help everyone achieve their training goals. They make products that last forever, won't bust your budget, and most importantly, leave no doubt about success when everything is on the line. And I'd say they have the kind of tools at Spud Inc. where are like perfect for a garage gym lifter because you buy these things and it's like, this has the utility of 10 items.
You can just pick one strap off of the website and you could literally use it for 100 things.
And they do have a lot of things that are like that, where it's like they take up virtually no space, which is important to a garage gym owner and can do a lot of different things. So you should check out Spud Inc. And this show is brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method. And if you train in a garage gym, would you not want an online coach? Yeah, I mean, that's what you would want is you don't have gym buddies to tell you what to do because you lift by yourself. You're a hermit in your garage gym.
Yep.
So you
said no to society.
Yeah, you're what's that? What's
Hermit?
that? What's the phobia? Agoraphobia.
Yeah.
You're agoraphobic, I believe would be correct. So what you do is you don't.
I just realized we're going to start a new company. Agoraphobic garage gym garage reviews.
Yeah, right. I think there's a meme there. Maybe there's not a company, but there's a meme at least.
Okay, we'll settle. Okay, if the meme gets like 100 likes, we'll go for the company then. Yeah.
So you can, if you're a garage gym lifter, you could hire Hybrid Performance Method, and for any of their training or nutrition programs, you can use our discount code. It's MASS in all caps, and that'll save you 5% off. And that's at hybridperformancemethod.com. And
agoraphobic equipment reviews. It's just so stupid
for people that hate going outside but love barbells.
It's just two eyes looking through blinds. It's all whispery all the time.
Outside's a scary, scary place.
Yeah.
And this episode is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Could you imagine a garage gym that doesn't have a Texas Power Bar in it?
I could not. That
would be a piss poor garage gym. If
it wouldn't be a garage gym.
That would just be a garage.
It'd just be a spot to hang out. Yeah.
If you didn't have a Texas Power Bar, from Buddy Caps and his gang down there in Texas. He invented those bars in 1980. That's when it was born. It was strong as a house, of course, best knurling, and was maintenance free. You can learn more about Texas Power Bars at texaspowerbars.com, and that's where you'd buy one to pick one up for your garage gym.
Mm-hmm.
See how it related it all to garage gyms there?
Yep.
It's really relevant stuff.
Very relevant.
Okay. Anything else we got on this one? 131. Holy crap. I better just shut up.
It just kept going. Just start having so much fun over here.
That's true. So where do people find you at, Tommy?
Agoraphobic equipment reviews.
It should be live by the time on Instagram. I can't imagine anyone has that.
Our first product is going to be a cat litter box. Just a litter box with a sticker on it.
Right.
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can find me at Tanner_Baird. Much more importantly, follow us at Massenomics on Instagram. See you.